And welcome to our Dance Factory starring Dan Kuntz.
I thought that was lost. I thought I deleted that. Actually, I asked Kat about that, Kat, our producer, of the Friday the thing that you just saw, and I apologize for that. And she has tucked that away in numerous folders and files and computers that apparently I can't find. Because every time I delete it, it shows back up again. I'd like to see you right after the show. Happy Friday, the 14th day of September, 2018. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host. News guy Steve here to my left. Kat in control for at least one more day. Happy Friday.
You bust a good move, man.
I used to.
You do. You really
used to. I used to have rhythm. Used to have faith in mankind. I've lost a lot of things over the last years or so. Great show for you today. Linda Haglund is patiently standing by. Another Downtown Possibilities tour is coming your way next week. Linda is the executive director of the Wenatchee Downtown Association. She has an open invitation to come by and see me, and occasionally she does. And also Eric Granstrom, our sports director, is going to drop by today.
Oh, okay. So you've
we're double dipping.
Plotted out a half-hour talk with Eric.
No. About 10 minutes with Eric. We got a new show. We're very proud of it. It's called Spotlight on Business. We're taking our cameras around to all kinds of businesses in the Wenatchee Valley and in north central Washington and kind of get to know the owners and their dreams and their aspirations and their success. It's a great story, and it's a great show. It's called Spotlight on Business, and it's going to be rolling out here over the next couple of weeks, and Eric is the de facto host of it. And I say that because it's really about the businesses. And Eric's going to be here to talk about that. And I don't know, we maybe get a little sports talk in while he's here.
And also, on the same business vein, you got Linda coming in today, too.
Yeah, it's a business-oriented show.
It really is.
Looking forward to that. A couple transportation notes. Blewett Pass is scheduled to reopen at 9 o'clock this morning. It's been closed all week because they're working on culverts and things that they have to do, and they simply have to have the highway completely closed. It's supposed to reopen, my understanding from the DOT, at 9 o'clock this morning. Did you see the Washington State Patrol Facebook post?
I didn't, no.
Truck drivers and just regular people were driving around the roadblocks on Blewett.
Oh, my.
They didn't get the word or whatever, and they were getting
Even with
to
the
the
reader
roadblock.
boards on each side of the pass and numerous
You can't miss
electronic
it.
reader boards.
And so people were like, whoop, they were blowing by the Blewett Pass close sign,
Oh, my.
which you're not supposed to do.
No, so obviously they were busy issuing citations yesterday.
I thought it was rather interesting anyway. Weather forecast is coming up, going to be very cool and unsettled throughout the course of this weekend. It's going to feel like autumn. We're almost there, of course. This is the last full weekend of summer. The autumnal equinox is next Saturday night. Measurable rain is going to happen on Sunday, and we need it. This long, dry spell is going to come to an end. It's going to feel very much like autumn coming up this weekend. Forecast details are coming up. Steve's got news. We got a bunch of sports. We got the obscure holiday. We got Today in History. We got birthdays. We got everyone that's entitled to Mike Benatti's opinion. We got Eric Granstrom. We got Linda Haglund. We got a song in our heart. You ready to do this?
I'm ready.
Let's take a tour of north central Washington with our Sky-Fi Valley View cameras. Our brand new 4K camera.
Look at that.
Is just a phenomenal piece of equipment. I have to remind myself, Steve, that is a tool, not a toy.
Boy, I'll tell you what, it looks like a picture postcard, doesn't it?
It does.
Look
This
at
is
that-
why I live
That
here.
mirror of the sky there on the waters of the Columbia
beautiful.
River. Just gorgeous.
I live here because of the people, and I live here because I'm not allowed to move out of the county, but I also live here because of that. I mean, who wouldn't want to live in this beautiful area?
Boy, look at the growth, though, too. You know, up there on Birch.
It's a growing community. The Wenatchee East Wenatchee area is not going to get smaller. Let's put it that way. This isn't Flint, Michigan. Camera 2. We take a visit. Oh, wow, that's the water. That's Billy Goat, I want to say. Is that Billy
Looking
Goat?
up
Is that
on the
Waterville?
plateau, yeah.
That's way up there. Well, she's going to move it. We're going to find out. As
Okay.
we pan around, is that Birch? Now I want to say it's Birch Mountain.
Look at this.
That's got to be Birch Mountain. Yeah. It's not Birch Mountain. What are we
Badger?
looking at?
Badger?
Oh, it's
That's
Badger. I'm sorry, Badger. Why did I say Birch? Because you said Birch, and it put it in my head. That's Badger Mountain. Incredible. Nicely done. We haven't used that one in a long time. That's a cool-looking shot. Thank you, Kat. That is nice. Hey, we have a brand new camera. We're going to roll it out one of these days.
Really?
Yeah, it's above Peshastin.
Oh, okay.
Spectacular. You're going to love it. Camera 3. Let's say hello to Jump Off Ridge.
Jump Off Ridge, looking down on the Wenatchee Valley over the Wenatchee Heights.
Stemmill Basin. Beautiful. Beautiful. Just incredible. I would live there, but the drive to work would be a long drive. Spectacular stuff. Good work. We should put a 4K camera there too. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's
Camera
nice.
4. I can't wait to see this. And there's Billy Goat. Yes, phenomenal. That's our highest camera. That's 7,000 feet above sea level.
And the far distance there, just over the river, you can see Mount Kalispell.
Yeah, which is, by the way, in Canada. That's how high up that is. That's the Methow River flowing into the Columbia River. You can see the lovely hamlet of Pateros. You can see Brewster. Can't see Bridgeport. Of course, Bridgeport is tucked behind that ridge. Incredible stuff.
I don't think anyone appreciates the nice, clean air more than we do here in the Wenatchee Valley
Yeah.
right now.
I agree.
Much appreciated. Thank you, firefighters.
And now they can all go home for the most part.
Well, for the most part, although the Cougar Creek fire is still burning. I checked on the NCWLIFE status report this morning. That fire now 79% contained, so a lot of mop-up work that's going on there. We do have a couple of fires still burning on the Blewett Pass area, though, the Iron East and Iron West fires. And right now, that is resulted in some, level 2 evacuations for about a dozen homes there in the Blewett Pass area.
Okay.
So even though the reopening the Blewett Pass, you'll be seeing a lot of firefighting traffic up there. So be careful.
If you are a firefighter, this is about the best kind of weather forecast you could possibly hope for.
Yeah.
It looks really good. Here is your forecast from the National Weather Service. We're looking lots of sunshine today, high near 71. Not a lot of wind, 5 to 7 this afternoon. That's 71-degree high, Steve. Once again, below normal. We're through a continuous stretch of below normal temperatures. 72 our high yesterday, 71 today. Quite a bit of sunshine as the day progresses. Look at the time-lapse photography in the background. As the day progresses, you'll see quite a bit of sunshine. Clouds are in tonight, 52 for the overnight low. Now, scattered showers on Saturday is a possibility. If we get any rain at all on Saturday, it's going to be in the mountains, okay? In the mountains on Saturday. High of only 70, no wind on Saturday. Saturday night, low pressure continues to dominate our weather forecast. Unsettled, mostly cloudy, 53 for the overnight low Saturday night. And then Sunday, we have a good chance of rain, above 50% chance of precipitation. Lots of clouds, very little wind, and some light rain, which is just what the doctor ordered on Sunday. And it's going to be chilly on Sunday morning, by the way. And then high pressure comes back. So drier weather and warmer weather with quite a bit of sunshine starts making its presence felt on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday as we wrap up summer and welcome autumn 1 week from tomorrow. And a friendly reminder, sunrise and sunset continues to get closer and closer together.
Aren't we fortunate to wake up to this versus what they're waking up to on the East Coast right now? Have you seen the images coming out of South Carolina, North Carolina area? Poof, boy.
Hurricane Florence isn't packing a lot of wind, but it's packing a lot of wind because it's only a Category 1 now, but it's super slow. So it's only moving 10 miles an hour.
It's the rain that's really going to cause the storm surge. So there's going to be a lot of flooding, in that area. And that's the big problem. In fact, Harvey last year was not a hurricane, it was a tropical storm. And that's what caused the problems down there in Texas.
Hang in there, friends, on the Grand Strand. It is what?
Oh, just a little add something to
please.
that. By the way, if you have people that you know, or if you want to contribute to the donation effort for the victims of this hurricane, we were notified by Beth Stipe at our North Central Washington Foundation that the best way to do that is to donate through their community foundations. They get it right to the people that need it, and a good way to donate to the cause for the victims of the Hurricane Florence.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Beth does good work. The Community
she does
Foundation,
great
North
work.
Central Washington, good folks. I got to get Beth back on the show. Yeah, she did the show once, and I invited her back, and she said no. 9 minutes. I'm kidding. 9 minutes after the hour. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, what news we have will be delivered by News Guy Steve Herron. Will be brought to you by our friends at Cascade Medical, trained with a physical therapist who loves the outdoors as much as you do. Cascade Medical, partners in your health.
The physical therapists at Cascade Medical love the outdoors as much as you do. But sometimes where there's love, there's also pain. Let us help you get back to the activities that you love. Cascade Medical, partners in your health.
This is the NCWLIFE Community Calendar brought to you by LocalTel. The Wenatchee Valley Farmers Market is this Saturday at Pybus Market from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eat healthy, eat local, and come support your local growers and producers. Also at Pybus is the Color Rush 5K happening this Sunday from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. This fundraiser encourages fitness in the outdoors while raising money to support Youth United. For more information on other community events, visit ncwlife.com.
And now it's time for your local news update with Steve Hare.
Good morning and welcome back to the program for this Friday. It's September 14th, and here's what's happening around north central Washington. First of all, authorities now confirm that a fire that damaged a motorhome earlier this week was intentionally set. Chelan County Sheriff Brian Burnett reports a 41-year-old local man was arrested at the scene of the fire off Judkins Avenue Wednesday afternoon. Now, the motorhome was in close proximity to where the fire started. It was occupied by 3 people at the time. All 3 were able to escape that motorhome without injury. The sheriff says deputies arrived on scene and observed the suspect nearby. He also reportedly had soot on his face, under his eyes, and on his nose that the sheriff said appeared to be purposefully applied. He was questioned and then arrested on suspicion of first-degree arson. Also, firefighters were called out Wednesday evening to a report of a commercial structure fire in the Malaga area. Turned out not to be a structure, but instead 2 apple bins containing marijuana clippings that caught fire next to a commercial grower's greenhouse in the 3900 block of Malaga-Alcoa Highway. An official with Chelan County Fire District 1 says crews were able to put that fire out before it threatened any neighboring structures. Cause under investigation, but officials suspect it could have been spontaneously combusted. Douglas County Fire District 2 crews also assisted in that firefighting effort. On the environmental front this morning, gray wolves would be removed from the federal endangered species list if legislation co-sponsored by 4th District Congressman Dan Newhouse passes. Newhouse and Wisconsin Congressman Sean Duffy introduced legislation with bipartisan support that would return management of gray wolves to state control. Management of the gray wolves were transferred from the state to the federal level in 2014. With ongoing reports of confirmed attacks on cattle, Newhouse said the designations leave farmers and ranchers without a legal avenue to protect their livestock from the animals. There currently are 10 confirmed wolf packs in Washington state, with most of those animals located in the northeast part of the state. Well, good news, the Wooden Avenue Bridge in Chelan is already reopened to vehicle traffic. That bridge project, which began on September 4th, was supposed to close the bridge to vehicle traffic for 2 weeks. The bridge will operate as a one-way street next week, so Selland construction crews can continue on the opposite side of the bridge. Now, the next phase of construction on that project involves the installation of pipe hangers and water main pipes under the bridge. Construction will take a break in November and then resume again next May. Also, one of the biggest loads ever to be transported on our state highways will be on the move through the gorge starting Monday night, September 17th. Omega Morgan of Portland will be moving a windmill transformer from the city of Roosevelt to the Goldendale Wind Farms Rock Creek substation, with the entire load weighing just over 1 million pounds and measuring 360 feet long, 21 feet tall. It'll involve overnight closures on State Route 14 and US 97 over a 2-night period. Huge piece of equipment there. It's going to be moved Monday. So if you're traveling in those areas, be prepared for some delays.
I'm curious as to 1 million pounds?
That's what they're saying.
And of course, I think most of us have been down through that area, through Biggs Junction and through the Goldendale area, and those switchbacks that you have to do as you go down
that would be
to Mary Hill Museum, but they're going up.
That's a challenge.
It's got to be amazing. What kind of rig do they have to transport 1 million pound piece of equipment up those switchbacks?
You think you'd have to have a pull and a push.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it is.
That's just nuts.
It really is.
Yeah. Speaking of incredible and speaking of nuts, our very own Grant Olson will be handling the news at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock tonight. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. Grant's doing double duty because not only is Grant doing the news tonight, he and Eric Granstrom will be calling the action as the Eastmont Wildcats host the Ellensburg Bulldogs tonight. At Wildcat Stadium in East Wenatchee, we're going to be there with our cameras. We'll have the game live, 6:45 pregame, 7 o'clock kickoff. It's also Hall of Fame night for the Eastmont High School Athletic Hall of Fame. We'll be carrying those ceremonies at halftime as well. Busy day for the whole crew here at the Broadcast Metroplex.
And again, to announce Highway 97, Blewett Pass, reopens at 9 a.m.
And if it doesn't, we'll be sure
Yeah.
to let you know. We populate our Facebook page and we populate our website all the time, and you can use those tools to get a hold of us and to do the honors. News dude, Steve Hare.
That's right. You can contact us any number of ways, folks, by phone at 888-NCWL, which also serves as our breaking news hotline. Contact us at our website at ncwlife.com. Call Dan at home if you want to.
Yeah,
you know,
go right ahead.
Yeah.
Call my landline. I haven't had
Facebook.
one in 20 years.
Facebook, Twitter, a good way to get in touch with us. Also on our email, the address, news@ncwlife.com.
Overcast, 47 degrees. We'll top off just about 70 today. We're going to be below normal with some clouds and a little bit of rain all weekend. I'm making chili on Sunday after Color Rush. We're going to do Color Rush. We'll
You're
be
gonna
down there
bring
to
me some,
cover
right?
it. And then it's my first batch of chili of the year.
Yeah.
So, and I'll bring you a bowl on Monday, all right?
I'll tell you what, bring me a bowl in the bowl that I gave you.
Yeah, Steve's wife Lynette made me seafood lasagna earlier in the week, and it was quite consumerable because I ate all of it. It was good stuff. 17 minutes after the hour. When we come back, sports, the obscure holiday today in history, birthdays, everyone is entitled to Mike McNally's opinion. Linda Haglund from the WDA and sports director Eric Granstrom. It's a jam-packed Friday. It's a 5-star show, and we're live from Studio 5 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCWLIFE Channel.
I have a doctor who knows what they're talking about.
It's just so much more hands-on and friendly than anywhere else I've ever been.
It's really great to walk into somewhere where you feel welcomed and you feel accepted.
We've just been grateful for the care and respect that we've been given there.
And here when I come to visit my doctor, I'm not afraid to ask questions.
It's not just about getting you in and out.
I love my care at CVCH. It's awesome. Give it a try.
NCWLIFE Channel is proud to present the Spotlight on Business. We're going behind the scenes to bring you the story of local businesses throughout North Central Washington. How did they get started, and why are they so successful? We'll answer these and other questions each week with Spotlight on Business, Sundays through Fridays on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Welcome back. 18 minutes after the hour on this Friday. I'm Dan Kuntz. Let's do sports. The Eastmont Wildcats hosted the Eisenhower Cadets in Big Nine Soccer last night in beautiful East Wenatchee, and Eastmont defended the home pitch. The final was 2-0. Kiana Carson and Carissa Miller scored the goals. Eric Granstrom and Matt Wiesen were there with the play-by-play highlights.
Handling the camera duties on the track. Here's a good opportunity for Eastmont. The left-footed kick is in. Give the goal first of the game to Kiana Carson. And Eastmont takes a 1-0 lead. Off of Pitharoulis. And there's a beautiful toss ahead on the attack. Carissa Miller with a left-footed crosser. Oh, just off the mark. And then a bullet pass ahead. And here's Abumano. Left foot just off the mark to the right side. Here in the second half. The first half, she was just booting them high and deep. Now she stayed low. And this one is in for Eastmont from way outside. 17 yards away for the Wildcats. And give them a goal, and finally they find the back of the net. We talked about the fact that eventually it would go in, and this time it's in for Carissa Miller. Well, I've got you for 23 shots on goal. This could have been much worse tonight, but, well, not for a lack of effort on trying to get that goal in the net.
I know. Guess what we're working on at practice tomorrow? We're going to do some finishing drills. No, the girls looked good. We got a little complacent there about halfway through the first, but had a good talk at half, and they came back and, yeah, finished strong.
Wildcats 2-0 in Big Nine play. Wenatchee, by the way, they're also 2-0 in Big Nine play. They beat Davis. The final was 3-0. Madison Smith, Jaden Griggs, and Amanda Schneider for the second consecutive game provided all the goals for the Panthers. To the Les Schwab Prep Scoreboard, let's talk volleyball. Ellensburg shut out Eastmont 3-0. Chelan took care of Zilla 3-0. Waterville-Mansfield found traveling to Lake Roosevelt a little on the rough side. They lost to the Raiders in volleyball 3-0. Our featured game of the week is prep football tonight. The Eastmont Wildcats and the Ellensburg Bulldogs. Wildcats 2-0 so far this season. Bulldogs are 0-1. They didn't play last Friday because their game was canceled because of lightning. Eastmont coach Michael Don says he's been very pleased with his defense so far. They've allowed just 7 points in 2 games.
I feel good about our kids right now. They put a lot of work in the last few years, and this last offseason they've been really dedicated, and you're starting to see it come out. And I don't think we've played our best football yet, but you can definitely see glimpses and see what we're capable of.
So no big heads so far. I mean, only 2 games in. You know, if you go back to last season, we talked about that with the consecutive win streak. You guys are still humble.
Yeah, we just try not to worry about what we've accomplished already. We're trying to look forward and keep getting better. And our kids haven't really talked about it. I don't even know if our kids know we've won 7 games in a row. They're just worried about now.
Coach Dom will be facing his former mentor in Ellensburg head coach Randy Offholter. Michael says there's no comparison between then and now when looking at the Bulldogs.
When I was there, he was spread 4 wide, and his son was the quarterback, and they were spraying the ball all over the place, throwing it 30 times a game. Now they're in I formation, and they're pounding the ball, and then they're 4-3 defense back then, and that was a long time ago, but that was probably over 10 years ago now, and now they're in a 52-3-4 defense, and you know, they're just doing different things, but you know, no advantage, but it's good to play against people that you know.
Junior captain Wesley McElwain says the winning has felt good, especially the way the defense has been playing.
It feels good. I mean, we're doing exactly what we wanted to do. I mean, not every game's going to be like that, but we could continue the streak as long as possible.
Does it mean anything to you or to this club that you've won 7 straight going back to last year, or is it just, hey, we got to play again this week?
I mean, yeah, it means a lot, but our coaches always say 1-0 every week, just restart and keep getting the dub, so that's what matters to us.
We'll have more with Coach Don and Wesley and Eric's conversations with both during the pregame show. It gets going at 6:45 tonight. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock at Wildcat Stadium. If you can't make it to the big place tonight, you can watch the game live right here with Eric Granstrom and Grant Olson handling the call. Again, it's Eastmont and Ellensburg. Let's take a look at what else is happening on the gridiron under the lights on Friday night. Wenatchee is also home tonight. They're looking for their first win of the year. They got Mount Boucheray out of Kelowna, British Columbia, coming to town. Cashmere is on the road at Wapato, the gateway to Yakima. Cascade is on the west side. They're taking on Mount Baker. Chelan hosts South Whidbey. Manson's at Liberty Christian. And Waterville-Mansfield travels to Odessa. All those games tonight kick off at 7. There is one game Saturday. Aniat plays at Elmira, Cooley, Heartline, Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young. That gets going at 5 o'clock. Coming up this weekend in prep soccer. Chelan plays at Brewster tomorrow morning at 11. That's early for soccer. Cashmere's at Moses Lake. Cascade hosts Overlake, and Eastmont is at Lewis and Clark, all at 1 o'clock. There's a big volleyball tournament taking place tomorrow in Yakima, the gateway to Wapato. Cascade, Chelan, Eastmont, and Aniab will all be playing in the Sundome Volleyball Festival. It gets underway tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. A bunch of invitational cross-country meets have teams throughout the state running all over the place. Cascade is at the South Whidbey Invite. That's at 10 a.m. Cashmere and Eastmont is at Highline High for the Apple Ridge Invite. That's also at 11 a.m. Wenatchee is at Stillicombe for their invitational at 11 o'clock. And Manson hosts Tenasket and Omak tomorrow at 11. Let's talk hockey. The Wenatchee Wild remain up in Canada. They continue the beginning of their BCHL schedule on the road. They started off, of course, a couple of wins last weekend, and now they're at Merritt. They take on the Centennials tonight at 7 o'clock tomorrow. They'll be in West Kelowna to take on the Warriors. To the college football gridiron, the Central Washington Wildcats will play host to Humboldt State tomorrow down in Ellensburg. 4 o'clock kickoff there. Washington State will host Eastern Washington at 5, and the Washington Huskies are on the road in Salt Lake City. They'll take on Utah tomorrow night, 7 o'clock on the Entertainment and Sports Programming Network. Seahawk fans, you got to wait till Monday, by the way. That's right, it's Monday Night Football against the Bears. Seahawks haven't won a game yet. They're 0-1. The Bears haven't won a game yet. They're 0-1. Kickoff on ESPN Monday night, 5:15. Mariners finally got some offense going. Is it too late? Probably. No real problems. An 8-2 win over the Angels in Anaheim last night. Nelson Cruz, a 3-run home run. Mitch Haniger, 2 for 4, scored a couple of times. Seattle had 12 hits in the game. Mike Lee, good outing for Michael. He went 7 innings. He allowed just 1 run on 7 hits, 5 strikeouts. The two teams play again tonight at 7:07. It's a strange time. Seattle's win actually helped them gain ground On the A's last night, as we look at the Les Schwab scoreboard from the American League West, Baltimore salvaged the final game of their series. They beat Oakland 5-3. The Mariners now trail the A's by 8.5 games for the final American League wild card spot. There are 16 games left in baseball's regular season. 25 minutes after the hour, it's time for the obscure holiday of the day on this 14th day of September. Today is Hug Your Hound Day. Isn't that cute? Yeah. Your four-legged best friend, give him a big hug today. Give him lots of love. Take your dog for a long walk. Dogs love walks. Take them to the park. Let them say hello to their friends. Take them to the off-leash park down along the river and let them run around and be free. Give them their favorite treat. Give them a big old hug. Volunteer your time at a local humane society. Everybody loves dogs. Did you know, fun fact, it's thought that the very first domesticated animals in human history were dogs and pigs. I'm kind of a dog guy, so hug your dog today. The dog will probably hug you back. 26 minutes after the hour. Today in history, September 14th, 1752, 266 years ago, it was September 14th, 1752. What am I talking about? The Gregorian calendar. The British Empire finally adopted the Gregorian calendar, and when they did that, the rest of the world kind of fell into line. The British Empire was the British Empire. They were everywhere. And when they finally adopted the calendar that we use today on this date, September 14th, they ended up skipping 11 days. So it was September 2nd, and the next day, it was September 14th. And everybody has been pretty much using that calendar ever since, which must have been a bummer if you were born in that little period when those days basically didn't exist. Happy birthday to that calendar. September 14th, 1901, 117 years ago, Theodore Roosevelt sworn in as the 26th President of the United States upon the death of President William McKinley. He was just 42 years old. He was then and remains now still the youngest person ever to be President of the United States, and he took the oath of office 117 years ago today. September 4th, 1959, who was the first country to make it to the moon? The Soviets. Yep, they beat us to it. September 14th, 1959, the Soviet probe Luna 2 crashed on the moon. It was supposed to crash on the moon. It was designed to do that. It became the first man-made object to reach the moon. They beat us to the moon. Remember that. We were the first people to walk on the moon, still the only country to walk on the moon, but the Soviets were the first ones to actually make it there. And by the way, it's still up there. And September 14th, 1994, 24 years ago today, a dead day for me. I'm a baseball fan. Everybody knows that. Love baseball. Major League Baseball owners said, we're not going to play the playoffs. We're not going to play the World Series. They canceled the postseason on this date in 1994. They played baseball through 2 world wars, earthquakes, all kinds of bad things, but they always played the World Series. And in 1994, they didn't. Enough said about that. 28 minutes after the hour. Let's do birthdays. Speaking of the World Series, speaking of baseball, Jerry Coleman was born on this date in 1924. He was a war hero. He was the only Major League Baseball player to have seen combat action in 2 wars, World War II and Korea. He was the second baseman for the New York Yankees. He was the 1949 Rookie of the Year. He was the most valuable player of the 1950 World Series. He has 4 championship rings, had 4 championship rings, I should say. He was in the United States Marine Corps. He was a great guy. Jerry Coleman was born in the state of 1924, passed away a couple of years ago at the age of 89. And Larry Brown, the American basketball player and coach, is 78 years old today. His claim to fame, he is the only coach in basketball history to win an NCAA title. He did it with Kansas back in 1988, and an NBA championship. He did that with Detroit in 2004. Larry Brown is also well known for having coached a lot of teams. In order, Larry Brown was the head coach of the Carolina Cougars, the Denver Nuggets, the UCLA Bruins, the New Jersey Nets, the Kansas Jayhawks, the San Antonio Spurs, the Los Angeles Clippers, the Indiana Pacers, the Philadelphia 76ers, the Detroit Pistons, the New York Knicks, the Charlotte Bobcats, and finally the SMU Mustangs. And now he's finally retired. Happy birthday to Larry Brown, 29 minutes after the hour. Going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to go 30 rounds with Mike McNaughty on Everyone is Entitled to Mike McNaughty's Opinion. Linda Haglund from the Wenatchee Downtown Association talking about possibilities, and Eric Granstrom, our sports director and the host of a brand new program called Spotlight on Business. All over the next half hour or so, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, Friday edition on the NCWLIFE Channel.
This is the NCWLIFE Community Calendar brought to you by Local Tel. Putting for Sight and Hearing is this Saturday at Desert Canyon Golf and Resort in Orondo. A large portion of the proceeds go toward helping low-income individuals in our community. Also Saturday, Cascade Medical Foundation presents the annual Home and Garden Tour, featuring an exciting and unique assortment of historic homes and gardens within the Leavenworth Plain area. For more information, visit ncwlife.com.
Dear Mary Maids, just got home from a trade show and I didn't have time to pick up the house. Kids made chili. Jeff did a mud run. Oh, and Winston shredded Teddy's bed. Again, please clean it the best you can. Oh, except for the statue Max made for me. Thanks, Abby.
Hi, Abby. Clean kitchen, clean bath, clean floor, naughty cat, poor Teddy. The statue is precious. You should keep it forever. See you next time, Mary Maids.
Jurassic Quest is coming, the largest and most realistic dinosaur event in North America. Experience a world of living, breathing dinosaurs, even baby dinosaurs. Over 80 true-to-life-size dinosaurs, including 30 newly discovered ones. See the fierce, true-to-life-size T-Rex, the skyscraping Spinosaurus, fossil digs, rides, activities, and more. Jurassic Quest is where the big dinos live. This event has doubled in size. Town Toyota Center in Wenatchee, September 21st through the 23rd. For guaranteed admission, get tickets now at JurassicQuest.com.
You can buy fruit almost anywhere. From first off the tree to first in your hands, Lone Pine offers seasonal fruit from their farm and around the region every day. Make Lone Pine your latte stop with coffee from Blue Star Coffee Roasters and a fresh piece of fruit pie. Take a break with a friend and order a cold micro beer or a glass of Northwest wine. Bring the whole family and enjoy a Lone Pine lunch or a fresh shake in their park-like setting. Lone Pine Fruit and Espresso on Highway 97.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza. Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Okay, this gun thing I've been talking about. Those opposed to private gun ownership and extra capacity magazines often say things like, no one needs 30 rounds, etc., that kind of stuff. Now, even supposedly weapons knowledgeable folks will sometimes say stuff like that. Well, however, you know, if you're using a firearm properly, you're using it to protect you or someone else's life in a potentially lethal scenario. And in that case, I want as many rounds as possible. I think the Glock I carried on duty when I was a cop held 10 rounds, and I had 2 backup magazines in my belt, and I had more ammunition in my duty bag. Frankly, in a scenario like that, I think 30 rounds to start sounds about right. But hey, what do I know? This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Hey there, Wenatchee. I'm Sean Lee, and I'm inviting you to come down and check out what we're all about at Badger Mountain Brewing.
Great beer, good food, and an endless source of entertainment for the whole family. Our Honey Blonde beer is flying off the shelves at your local grocery store. But I tell you what, it's even better on tap. And while you're here, try our signature Badger sauce with one of our delicious meals. Whether you're in the mood for a wrap, salad, pizza, or nachos, Badger Mountain Brewing has what you're looking for.
This is the NCW Life Community Calendar brought to you by Local Tel. The Wenatchee Valley Farmers Market is this Saturday at Pybus Market from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eat healthy, eat local, and come support your local growers and producers. Also at Pybus is the Color Rush 5K happening this Sunday from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. This fundraiser encourages fitness in the outdoors while raising money to support Youth United. For more information on other community events, visit ncwlife.com.
Jurassic Quest is coming. See the largest and most realistic dinosaur event in North America. Experience the sights and sounds of living, breathing, even walking dinosaurs. Over 80 true to life-size dinosaurs and counting. It's educational, fun, and hands-on. Uncover huge fossils like a real paleontologist. Ride the big 24-foot dinosaurs. Enter the towering dinosaur inflatables. This event has doubled in size. Town Toyota Center in Wenatchee, September 21st through the 23rd. For guaranteed admission, get tickets now at JurassicQuest.com.
Hi, Justin here, owner of Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere. Club Crow is your place for famous blues, brews, and barbecue. We are your one-stop bar and grill, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Looking for a fun night out? Join us at Club Crow Saturday nights. We have live bands to rock the night away. Club Crow is bringing comedy to Cashmere. Check out our Facebook page for upcoming dates. Live jam session first Sunday of every month. Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere, the coolest place in town.
When you're alone and life is making you lonely, you can always go downtown. I kid you not. Petula Clark wouldn't lie to us now, would she? Whenever I sing that song or quote that song, that means Linda Haglund is in Studio 4 here in downtown Wenatchee. Hello, Linda.
Hello there. You know, I don't know what it would cost for me to get a copy of that video, but I think you could be a candidate with Dancing with the Stars. I really do.
You saw that opening.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was laughing loudly in the green room.
Good.
Yeah, you made my day, actually.
Thank you.
I'll have to bang that vision out of my head most of the day. But anyway, there you go. There you go.
Once again, Kat, I would like to see you right after the program.
You know what? She gets big kudos in my world.
This show is unairable without Kat
I know.
producing this
I
show.
know.
She has
Right.
to put up with me. She has to put
Yep.
up with Steve.
Yep.
put
And
up
watch
with you,
dancing.
yeah.
Yeah,
Watch me
I'm
like
in.
that.
That's super good.
Hi, Linda.
Hi there.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Downtown Possibilities Tour. You do this a couple of times
We do.
A year. It's
We
back
do.
again. It's next Wednesday.
It is. This is our Fall Possibilities Tour. And the Port of Chelan County gave us a little bit of money to help us promote this and do some fun things. So it will be Wednesday beginning at 3 o'clock. And we ask people if you're interested in seeing some of these great historic buildings and just want to take this tour, to meet us at 3 o'clock on the corner of Palouse and Wenatchee Avenue, right across the street from Collins. We're going to start there, and we're going to go into the Savings and Loan Building. There are some spaces available there. And then we're going to move down the street into a building that might have some connection with you, and that's a historic name is the Rialto Theater. And I was in there this week and turning the power lights on, and there's 2 sets of main breakers, and one of them says the bandbox still. Super cool. And so we're going to tour that. It is a great old building that is available for lease. Then we'll move down the street into a building that was previously rekindled. It is between Firehouse Pet and Pickle Papers down there. Great turnkey space ready to roll. And then we're going to indoor tour in the Morris Building. There's some spaces we're going to look at there. And as you know, Collier Jewelry is retiring and at the end of this month. So we're going to see that space, and it is a prime space. And then Mike Salmon has some other spaces. And then at the very end of the tour, we're going to invite you with us into Norwood. If you haven't seen that great, it is called Norwood Wine Bar on the Avenue, but we're going to go into Norwood, and we're going to have a little bit of food for you and talk about not only the tour, but what are we missing? What do we need in downtown? I will tell you quickly that we had the state's historic architect in town this week, and there are 6 buildings that are doing some kind of renovating upstairs and downstairs in downtown right now. Highly unusual. Our downtown, our community is at that point of new development, super fun. And for our downtown, it's new life. And we have a thriving downtown. Just love to see this.
And the general public who goes in and out of all of these historic downtown properties and historic downtown businesses Some of them are new, some have been, like Marcy, for instance, Colin, been around forever. They just see the main floor where they actually do conduct their business. They very rarely get a chance to go upstairs, and a lot of these buildings have huge basements.
They do, and the Rialto is one of those.
Yeah.
Huge basement. And what a lot of people don't know is some of these basements go all the way under the sidewalk. Super cool, and you can hear people above you. In fact, in one building downtown, the men's restroom is under the sidewalk in the basement, right? So, yeah, great old stories. And we have a great downtown. And a lot of people don't know, we have about 100,000 square feet unused upstairs in downtown right now. So a lot of development opportunities. And it's so fun to see new building owners, new money, new vision in our downtown. Love what I do every day.
And one of the reasons that these buildings have stood the test of time is that they were way over-engineered and way overbuilt, which is fantastic.
Exactly. That came up this week. On, you know, if you compare to now modern day building materials, these were way built beyond. And you look at the Morris building, you can see the original beams that are over 100 years old, and they are just as strong and just as sturdy. And the structure of these buildings is pretty amazing. And what they say, you just don't build them like that anymore. That's exactly the truth.
They say that the health of a community, just like the health of a human being, is got to have a healthy core, and we have a healthy core.
We do in the downtown.
Yeah.
We really do. And people say to me all the time, you know, with Collier retiring, do you get worried about that? That's a sign of a healthy downtown. I said to Phil and Carrie Collier this week, you know, the reward for good planning, hard work, is retirement. You know, we don't get to be upset about that. You know, we will miss them, obviously, in the work that they do.
Sure.
But you know what? They get to retire. And the look on their face and the smile was worth it all. They're ready, you know, and that's a reward for hard work, just like the Mills family. So pretty cool. We're excited.
There's one building that continues to catch my eye, and I know it's got a tremendous future, the old Washington Federal. Of course, as you know now, they moved up to their new offices at the intersection of 9th and Wenatchee Avenue. That building was on the Downtown Possibilities Tour last spring.
It was.
And I look at that building, I look at its location, I look at the architecture, I look about everything about that building, and I think somebody should, whatever is going to happen there has got to be really cool.
And we toured that with the state's architect and Chris Martin, the primary of that. And that conversation, that building encompasses the entire block, right, east to west. And block meaning the whole street. So there are 60 parking stalls, 60, and then also that drive-through option on Mission. It is prime location, and really both of those buildings, those and what the historic name is Russell Plow, but they call it now the Midtown Building across the street on Orondo, both of those, incredible possibilities. Both will be renovated, both will be something super cool. I say to people, our downtown 5 years from now will be, it will still look and feel of that historic heart of downtown, but what's going to be happening upstairs will blow you away. Can't wait.
And then one thing about that federal building we were talking about, huge high ceilings.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It just goes on forever.
I know, and you can go in, it's like stepping back in time. And we were talking about that. A lot of these buildings, like across the street, had the building across the street had something that was a new name, and it was called Marblecrete. And the siding on that building that they covered the brick with was Marblecrete. It's concrete with marble in it. Never heard of that, the weight that put on that building. The across the street then, and when you're talking the Washington Federal, the Bank of America building, it has no substantial change. It's exactly what it looked like when it was built. And that's unusual too. It's like the Morris building, exactly what it looked like when it was built. So pretty cool.
I know you're busy. There's one more item of business before you take off. You mentioned this off camera, drinking beer. Let's drink some beer.
Well, the Wenatchee Valley Chamber of Commerce and Brewers Row are doing an effort next weekend on Saturday called Oktoberfest, and they're having this Oktoberfest event in the public parking lot on the base of Palouse Street. And that parking lot will host that Saturday evening an Oktoberfest beer event. It's going to be super fun. Music. I put it out to the downtown core yesterday because I always like people to know what is coming into downtown, our merchants to know. And Oktoberfest is going to be super fun. It's a first attempt. Jerry Barkley and her band of fun people are planning this event, and I just wanted to shout out to that. It's something new and something different. And our Brewers Row is our budding, brewing initiative here. So I think it's going to be super fun. So that will be next Saturday, and in the evening, that parking lot will be closed most of Saturday so they can prepare for that. Food, beer, fun. So you can get information on that off the Chamber's website.
Mm-hmm. And most days you can find food, beer, and fun just in downtown Wenatchee.
Exactly.
At all the different locations, be it restaurants or retail, brick and mortar, mom and pa. It's a fun place to go. It's a fun place just to walk around.
Come meet us downtown.
Yeah.
And dance a little bit. I like to see you dance. That's good. Yeah, there we
That's
go.
all you're getting out of me.
All righty.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's great to see you, Linda.
You too.
Go out and enjoy your Friday and enjoy your
Well,
weekend. All
okay.
right. How do you
All right.
Eric Granstrom's coming up next. What do you think about Eric? I mean,
You know
just
what? Eric and I go way back,
Mhm.
and he's a sports guy, but a just good overall good guy. Don't tell him I said that. Nobody's watching.
No,
He's
nobody
not
watches
watching
the
this
show,
now.
yeah.
So yeah, overall great guy who loves this community, and I love it when people love the place we love. So.
Well, the show we're going to be talking about when Eric joins us is it's called Spotlight on Business. It's a brand new program, and a lot of those businesses that we're spotlighting and profiling downtown located.
Just remember we're a community of a lot of small business, and that entrepreneurial spirit is alive and well in this community, and no more so than in downtown. Come meet us downtown.
Linda Haglund, the Executive Director of the Wenatchee Downtown Association.
you.
46 minutes after the hour, we're going to take a break. When we come back, strapping, handsome guy will continue to host the show, and I'll be joined by Eric Granstrom. Don't go anywhere.
And dancing.
Life is art.
Dear Mary Maids, just got home from a trade show and I didn't have time to pick up the house. Kids made chili. Jeff did a mud run. Oh, and Winston shredded Teddy's bed. Again, please clean it the best you can. Oh, except for the statue Max made for me. Thanks, Abby.
Hi, Abby. Clean kitchen, clean bath, clean floor, naughty cat, poor Teddy. The statue is precious. You should keep it forever. See you next time, Mary Maids.
Tacos Chava has something new. Customers at Tacos Chava say it's the best Mexican food around. Nachos, enchiladas, tortas, ensaladas. And introducing camarones in many styles. You'll love the fresh salsa bar with so much selection. Are you ready for Tacos Chava? Find them at two great locations, the Wenatchee Valley Mall and Eniat. Tacos Chava, tan delicioso.
Thanks to the help I received at Goodwill,
I have a job. I'm working now. Thanks to Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill.
Goodwill's Employment Connection Center is a free walk-in job search assistance program designed to get you back to work. When you donate to or shop at Goodwill, you're really helping people find work.
Thank you.
Goodwill, there's more behind the store.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellington here from Live It Up. In the investment world, ROI stands for Return on Investment. Well, how does better health, better wealth, and better relationships sound for ROI? Join us every week right here on NCW Life and learn how to invest in the most important asset, you.
We're going to answer your questions and provide some weekly inspiration so you can create a life that you love. Join us on Live It Up.
And we are back due to circumstances beyond our control. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on this Friday. My guest in the second half of the program is our sports director, Eric Granstrom. As you can see, he's lost a lot of weight. He's looking good. Eric's on his way. He'll be here any minute. While we're waiting for Eric, I'm going to preview some of the guests that we have coming up next week. On Monday's edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, Kathy Smithson will be in. The Mission Creek Players will be putting on a really cool production directed by our friend Harvey Hennick, who's been on the show as well. That's coming up at the New America Performing Arts Center. Kathy will be talking about that on Monday's edition of the program. Also on Tuesday of next week, it'll be our friends from the Salmon Fest. Salmon Fest is back once again this year at the Leavenworth National Fish Hatchery, and they'll be joining me on Tuesday to talk about that. And a friendly reminder, we got live high school football tonight. There he is. Eric's just walking in the studio. Eric Granstrom and Grant Olson will be calling all the action as the East Mile Wildcats play host to the Ellensburg Bulldogs in Hall of Fame night. And ladies and gentlemen, here he is.
Hi. Sorry about that.
How you doing, bud?
A little tardy this morning.
No, I think he's...
Okay,
there we go.
All right.
Live television, working without a net.
Let's see if I can do this without looking. Did I get it?
Yeah,
No, not yet. Okay.
Yeah.
There
we go.
Okay.
How is the traffic coming in from East Wenatchee?
You know, it's surprising how many people are on the road. It's like people work around here or something and have to be there by 8. Holy cow!
It happens to me on weekdays. You're driving to run an errand at 11 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday, and there's traffic everywhere, and I go, don't these people have jobs?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So apparently there's a lot of folks that are trying to get to where they need to go this morning, including me. Sorry I'm late.
To the topic at hand, it's called Spotlight on Business. That's you. It's Eric
there we go.
Eric is the de facto host of this program, and I say that
Short
nicely.
straw. It was a short straw.
Yeah, it was a short straw. Because it really is. It's about, I've seen the show and the previews. It's really about the businesses. You're there to kind of guide them through the process of being videotaped and talking about their story, but it's really about them.
It is, and what's great about this so far, we've been around to several businesses just getting ready for this, and Caitlin Heddersheet, fantastic to work with as our producer and videographer and editor on a lot of this. Getting the story behind the story of these businesses that we've been around and seen and maybe even worked at, but do you know how it all got started? Do you know why they chose the particular field that they're in? So very interesting so far. And we had Chamber Calls as our first show that ran for the first couple of weeks of this month with Carrie Kandata, and that's a chance to get around to area chambers of commerce to talk about business and what's coming up and what's on the calendar, things like that. And then next week is our first episode where we'll feature the Wenatchee Valley YMCA. And that was interesting. I mean, aside from, the song YMCA, there's a lot more to that. As you see here, Blueberry Hills got a chance to get up to Manson and talk to Carrie and get that story. And an intriguing story of how they chose to take a family farm that was apples and pears and an orchard and rip it out and put in blueberries of all things. So we'll learn more about that. And then also Lake Chelan mailboxes. We've seen the ads here on the NCWLIFE Channel and get a chance to talk to that lovely couple about their story and how he was from Manson originally, went away and came back. And so many times we're hearing and seeing that story of people that leave the Wenatchee Valley, leave North Central Washington, maybe never coming back, but something draws them back, and so they're doing business here.
I think it's the people.
Oh, absolutely.
It's the people who bring people. That's to me, that's what I think it is.
Yeah.
It's just a really cool place to live. The one I'm looking forward to most is the beer one.
The beer one,
That
yes.
looks fascinating.
Wenatchee Valley Brewery.
I don't know how they make beer, and now I do.
Well, and so that was intriguing for us as well. And Caitlin, I don't know if she's had a chance to be in that setting, but and it's all about timing too. And I had no idea how the heck that happens. I'm used to just guys doing it in their garage, and this is on a grand scale. But it started in a garage, and then people kept saying, "Man, I love your beer. I love your beer. You should sell it somewhere." And so that's how it came to be. So it's at Pybus and down at by Riverside 9. And we'll learn more about that in future episodes.
And these are all businesses that we're not going to go do Walgreens, or Safeway. I mean, we're doing these local businesses. These people are putting their sweat and their blood and their toil and their tears into in making a successful business I have my own business. It's hard work, but the rewards are tenfold.
Full disclosure, they are paying us to do the production value of this. So there is a little money that we're getting, but to compensate our time to go out and to get these stories and to put them together. But I honestly, when we talked about the idea of doing this show, I thought, oh man, I don't know, I don't want this to be an infomercial. But what it's turning out to be for me anyway, and I think Kat's probably learning quite a bit as we go too, is that there's some pretty unique stories out there on how these people have ended up doing what they've been doing, and in some cases for decades and decades.
It's going to be a great show. It's called Spotlight on Business, and it makes its debut. When does it make its debut?
It'll be on Monday.
It'll be on every day of the week except Saturday, right?
Correct.
So you can't miss it. It'll also be available on demand. Once we air it, it ends up on our website.
Yeah, so the first episode, we'll get that up on the website on Monday, so you can watch that anytime you want on demand. And we've got it spread kind of a shotgun approach through the airwaves on the day parts as far as where it will appear on the NCWLIFE channel. But it's been fun. We just, earlier this week, got a chance to talk to Dale Foreman, longtime attorney here in the Wenatchee Valley, and the FAHZ law firm, which is in a very, I'll say, obscure location in downtown Wenatchee. You wouldn't really know it was there unless you were looking for it, and that's the point.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's all you're going to tell us?
That's all I'm going to tell you.
That's all you're going to tell
yeah.
us. Eric,
but we've got Go USA, the Hamiltons, we're going to talk to, I think, next week. That'll be coming up in October. We've got Cascade Auto Center and getting that family's story. And that's something that's interesting, too. There's so many families that are involved in the businesses to which we've spoken, husbands and wives, and figuring out how they do business on the business front, but then also contain and maintain their relationship at home, and that dividing line of, okay, business and family.
And it ties back to what we talked about when we began. Steve and Jane Baldock are two wonderfully awesome people who give back to the community in a gazillion ways. Dale Foreman served this district and served it very well in the Washington State Legislature. These are not just business people who are sitting there with their green visors on and adding up the numbers and going home and shutting themselves off in the world. They're giving back to the community.
Yeah. Oh,
tenfold.
and that's a cool part of the story too that we're trying to tell in 8 minutes. These are just 8-minute segments to try to squeeze all this in. Kat's missing hair now from having to try to do that. But in 8 minutes time to try to encapsulate the whole story, and then there's so much of that too, where there's philanthropic things that's happening behind the business. Why? Well, you don't have to.
No,
but
you don't.
Why? Because they believe that in order to do business and to be in business, you have to be part of the community.
It's easier to say no than it is to say yes.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that, and these people say yes on a regular basis. Let's talk about a little football. Let's preview tonight. We got Eastmont and Ellensburg. Ellensburg's a 2A school. Eastmont's a 4A school, but this is going to be a very good football game. Ellensburg is one of the best 2A programs in the state.
And as you alluded to in sports, you know, you've got Michael Don, the head coach of Eastmont. His first coaching job was as a line coach for Ellensburg for Randy Affolter. And so the mentor and the mentee are going to meet tonight. And Ellensburg heavy on the run. Eastmont heavy on the defense so far. They've only given up one touchdown. That was late in the game to Pasco last week. So their defense has been stalwart so far this season. Could be a quick game tonight. Could be a low-scoring game tonight. It's going to be fun to watch.
Coach Don has done a tremendous job at Eastmont High School. He took over the program. They only won one game in his first year, but he understood that this is a process. This is a building process. And now here he is, deep into his tenure as the head football coach of the Eastmont Wildcats. He's got this team playing some very good football.
Yeah, in his fourth season, going back to last year. Now they've won 7 straight, going for number 8 tonight. Watch it right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
Or go to the football game. We always encourage people to go to the football game. There's nothing like a Friday night football game, especially when it feels like autumn-ish and it's going
Set your DVR and then you can go home and watch it afterwards.
Absolutely. Also, the Wenatchee High School Panthers are making their home debut at Leap-Off the Field of the Apple Bowl. Mount Boucheret from British Columbia will be in town. There's your prep football
French
schedule.
Canadian, is that?
What's that?
Mount Boucheret, is
Mount
that
Boucheret,
French Canadian?
yeah.
Very nice.
So there's your prep football schedule. Go to the football games. Watch the kids play football. It's fun. It's cool. And then, of course, tomorrow I'll be ensconced watching college football because that's my thing.
Yeah, I like that Eastern Washington State matchup. That's going to be interesting.
Remember last year, Eastern beat them.
Yeah.
In Pullman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they knocked off the Cougars. Always for some strange reason, they always lose one game a year that they should not lose at all. But they also win a game that they had no business winning, too.
And it seems that the stumble point comes against a Big Sky school. So that'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow.
Everybody have a great weekend. Once again, we got a really, really busy schedule this weekend. We will be at Eastmont High School tonight for the big football game. Watch it on television. Eric and Grant will be doing the play-by-play. We'll also have the Hall of Fame induction ceremonies at halftime. I will be alongside Megan McPherson. We'll be at Pybus Public Market Sunday morning for Color Rush. We'll have a report on that on Monday. Full slate of great guests coming your way next week. Have a great weekend. Take us along. We're portable. Take care. Bye-bye.